What's up guys, we're tearing up Okayama this week in the Mazda MX-5 fixed setup and truck temp is at 113 Fahrenheit. Buckle up for a fast onboard lap first, then the full guide. I'm also leveling up my English with this video, so smash that subscribe button and let's hit the track. We are opening our fast lap in Okayama with the Mazda MX-5. Turn 1. Turn 1 is an important overtaking spot, so practice braking on the inside to simulate defending your position. I use the tire marks before the white line as my braking reference. Brake with about 90% pressure, control the rear of the car on corner entry, downshift to second gear and gradually release the brakes. Get back on throttle before touching the inside curb, aiming for the apex at the end of the curb. Don't let the car drift too wide, keep it on the right side of the track. Turn 2, Williams. In turn 2, I don't use the brakes, just lift off the throttle, using the beginning of the curb as a reference. It's very important to take all the inside curb at the apex, then smoothly reapply the throttle to avoid losing traction. Use the full curb on exit, including the green section. Turn 3, Moss S. Simply cut across the curbs here. Turn 4, Atwood Curve, another overtaking opportunity where it's key to practice braking on the inside to defend position. Brake just before the 50-meter board with 9% brake pressure. Downshift to second gear, easing off the brake gradually until the apex. Use the tire marks on the grass as reference for apex. Turn 5, Hairpin. Yet another overtaking spot, so practice braking on the inside line. I use the tower on the left as my braking reference, or roughly halfway between the 150 meters board. Brake with 80% brake pressure, downshift to second gear, and match your steering with brake release as you turn in. Delay the downshift to first until almost at the apex to gain a little extra rotation. Get back on throttle at the apex, keeping the car on the right side of the track. Turn 6, revolver. Bring the car to the right side of the track, lift off the throttle, and turn in using the tire marks on the asphalt as a reference. Hit the inside curb at the apex, and only get back on throttle after the curb, since the car tends to get unsettled when riding over it. Turn 7, Piper. Open up the entry, keeping only the left wheels inside the white line, and use the outside curb as a reference to lift off the throttle. At the apex, make sure to take the full curb, even using a bit of grass if needed, but be ready to correct the steering. Carefully reapply throttle at the apex as the car is unsettled rear. Turn 8, Redman. Another overtaking opportunity, so practice inside braking. Brake just after the 50 meters board, about 80% pressure, but briefly then transition into trail braking all the way to the apex. At the apex, downshift to first gear and squeeze the throttle on exit, keeping the car on the left-hand side of the track. Turn 9, Hobbs. No braking here, stay in first gear, which naturally slows the car when lifting off the throttle. There isn't a strong visual reference, so just go by feel. Hit the inside curb at the apex and carefully reapply throttle, since traction is tricky at the top of the hill. Turn 10, Mike Knight corner, a flat-out corner with a blind apex. Use the tower on the left as your reference for turning. Turn 11, last corner. Brake with about 80% pressure at the end of the curb, downshifting to second gear. Brake briefly, then gradually release the brake using the start of the grass as your turn-in reference. Let the car roll into the apex. Get back on throttle before the inside curb and use all the curb at the apex. On exit, you can use the curb and even the green area with your left wheels if needed. And that was a lap around Okayama. Thanks for watching and see you next time.